everyone. Welcome into another episode of the Inside Voice Podcast. I got a question for you. How are we feeling now that we're this far into the year? Like, we're in October. We're less than 90 days away from the end of the year. Are we starting to feel a little pressure? A lot of excitement, don't get me wrong. I mean, this, in my opinion, is the best time of the year. I love fall. I love getting closer and closer to the holiday season, the anticipation that's building. I love all of it. And then, of course, being a 3 on the Enneagram, chef's kiss, I am already super excited about setting resolutions for the new year. I know. You didn't expect to hear the R word, but here we are. And actually, you might be hearing a lot of this on social media. Right before October kicked off is when I started seeing a lot of stuff online of people, just because maybe this is my algorithm, maybe this is what comes my way, but people just pushing, the 90-day challenge. Like, what are we doing in the next 90 days? How do we finish this year strong? How do we build momentum as we get ready for the new year, as we get ready for 2026. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of this. I love this idea. I feel like when you can do little things at the end of the year and finish strong, it helps you in the new year. And if you're somebody who has ever worked out with me, you know that like one thing I always say is last round, best round, last rep, best rep. It's this idea of like, don't give up just because it's the last one. Don't just fizzle out, like finish strong, get to the finish line, push hard, give it all you got, empty the tank. That is my mentality. But I understand that when it comes to your year, it might be a little difficult to do that, especially given all the things that are on your plate, especially if you're a parent. There is a lot of stuff happening with schools and like dress up your kid as everything under the sun for the next 3 weeks. There's, parties and bake sales, and there's all sorts of stuff going on as we move through October into November and of course in December as well. And that's before you even get to like the stuff that you do at home this time of year, whether it's putting together holidays, decorating, creating lasting memories, keeping up with traditions. It is a lot. And while I may be a fan of the last 90 days challenge, I don't think that this is necessarily the time to go like cold turkey into whatever resolutions that you are eventually going to set for yourself in 2026. I do think it's good to think about those things and to reflect on those things and maybe kind of start to cast this vision of what you think the next year will look like, just to have those top of mind. We talked about having this future self, having this self-awareness over the last couple of weeks, and how putting on that future self will help you make better decisions in the day-to-day to push you further towards your goals. So I definitely think that having an idea of what you want the next year to look like, having an idea of like, oh, next year I think could be my year to finally do blank. It's good to have that top of mind because it will affect the decisions that you make over the next several weeks before we finally get to 2026. And then it won't be such like a ripping off of the Band-Aid or such a shock to the system when it's like, oh, it's day 1, January 1st. Let's go tackle those resolutions. What I think would be more beneficial for now that we're less than 90 days away, but what I think would be beneficial for these last several weeks, this last season that we're in, this last quarter for this year, I think it'd be really beneficial for us to focus on one mindset change that I think will spill over into all of our decisions, all of the chaos, all of the traditions, everything that we are going to be enjoying this time of year. And it's really one simple thing. It's gratitude. Now, before you tune out because you think, oh, this is going to be one of those frou-frou, like gratitude journal things, I want to tell you that gratitude is more than just like this, handful of confetti that you throw onto your stressful life and suddenly it's not so awful to look at. You know what I mean? Like, gratitude is a really crucial practice for our day-to-day lives. Gratitude is something that can really radically change our lives. It can change our day-to-day, it can change our outlook on life, it can change the way that we, show up for other people and the way that we show up for our jobs and, the things that are important in our lives. Gratitude really is something that grounds us and changes everything. So I want to read some of the things that gratitude can do for you, because I was thinking this has to be something that does more than just sugarcoat life. And it turns out it does. Gratitude will change your brain. There are neurochemical changes that happen in your mind when you practice gratitude. You may know a couple of these, but I am going to read through them because this is just fascinating to me. And I think this will remind us and show us and reveal to us just how powerful gratitude is. When you feel grateful, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin. Those are like the feel-good hormones, the feel-good feelings. Neurotransmitters that are crucial for regulating emotions and mood. That's what dopamine and serotonin are. These chemicals create feelings of happiness and satisfaction. They reinforce grateful behaviors. I don't know about you, whether it's, the end of the year or not, I want to go through life feeling happy and feeling satisfied. Gratitude will make that happen. Gratitude also activates the brain's reward pathways, including the hypothalamus, leading to feelings of pleasure and contentment. This will be a way for you to maximize the good times and also kind of help the bad times feel less bad. Gratitude also activates the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for higher level cognitive functions such as rational thought, decision making, and emotional regulation. If you've been stressed out about a lot of stuff, if you feel like you can't make a decision because there's too many things that are pulling at you, there's too many things pushing you this way, pushing you that way, controlling your mind, and it feels like you can't have a clear thought, gratitude will fix that. If you feel like there's just too much on your plate right now, if it feels like you are stressed to the max, gratitude is going to be that thing that changes that feeling for you. Gratitude is going to give you the clarity that you need to make the decisions that you want to make, to help you regulate your emotions, and to help you make good decisions. And as we move into a time of year that can be very stressful, and a time of year where you're dealing with other people, and you might be dealing with family, and you might be dealing with deadlines, and you might be dealing with a lot, gratitude is going to help you make better decisions in those moments when you just want to pop a top, like you're just at your wit's end. Consistent practice of gratitude strengthens these neural pathways, making the brain more efficient at generating positive emotions and maintaining focus on positive experiences. Do you ever go through this time of year knowing that there's all this good stuff that should be happening, the holidays to celebrate, the travel, the being around loved ones? Do you ever feel like you get to the end of it and you may have done all the things and you may have created all the memories and kept up with all the traditions, but you feel so depleted in a negative way? Like you feel like, I don't know, you just went through like 84 hours of labor. I've never done labor before. I don't know if that's the thing or not, but it literally feels like the worst feeling in the world. You get to the end of the year and it just feels like nails on a chalkboard. It just feels like you've been rubbing sandpaper on your eyes. I don't know what it is, but it's too much for you. Gratitude is going to be the thing that fixes that, okay? It maintains the focus on positive experiences so that you can enjoy this time of year. And I don't know about you, I want to enjoy it. Gratitude helps reduce stress hormones. We talked about this just a little bit, but by focusing on positive emotions, gratitude can help lower your stress hormones like cortisol. Gosh, that's like one of those buzzwords that we hear all the time. Doctors are constantly telling us, like, you got to lower your cortisol, you got to lower your stress, you got to be able to deal with this stuff. Gratitude is an easy way to do that. I know you think that you need to go on a Zen retreat, you need to journal more, you need to add more things to your plate. That's only going to stress you out more. But if you can practice this mentality of gratitude, yeah, you're going to be able to lower your stress. It promotes a calmer nervous system and reduces anxiety. We've talked about anxiety before and how I feel that there are certain remedies to anxiety, like action, but gratitude is the direct opposite of anxiety. I've heard it said before that you cannot be anxious and thankful at the same time. Those are things that just compete with one another, and there's no way that you can hold both of those things at the same time. One of them is going to win out, and you want gratitude to be the one that wins out. Gratitude also increases your resilience. This enhanced neural structure and positive outlook make you more resilient, allowing you to better cope with life's challenges and bounce back from adversity. There's going to be stuff this time of year that gets under your skin. There's going to be things that drive you insane. It might be people that you're doing Christmas shopping with, whether they're actually in your party that is shopping with you or they're just around you in your space at the store. There are going to be people at the Thanksgiving table that are just going to get under your skin, family members that you choose not to spend your day-to-day with, but when the holidays come around, you know they're going to be there. Gratitude will help you deal with those challenges in your life. And I also feel like practicing gratitude, because of all that it does with your resiliency and with your cognitive function and releasing and helping with stress levels, I don't know if there's science to back this up, but I feel like gratitude can help you not get run down this time of year. It can help you not get sick this time of year, because I think it's just mostly the stress thing. Stress, I think, hinders your immune system. I think that it really does harm your body's ability to fight things off. So allow gratitude to come in and help you out. There's also long-term benefits to practicing gratitude. A lot of the things that we talked about just then are like short-term, which are great. But long-term benefits, a brain that is trained to be grateful shows improved mental clarity, focus, and even enhanced creativity. I don't know about you, but I feel like those are things that we lack these days. I don't know if it's a social media thing. I don't know if it's because we're binge watching things. I don't know if it's because ChatGPT doesn't allow us or doesn't foster thought process anymore. But we lack clarity, we lack focus, and we don't have the same levels of creativity that I think we had before. And practicing gratitude, I think, would unlock those pathways in our brain to allow us to get back to a place where it's like, oh, I know what I'm doing today. I understand what goal we're chasing. And you know what? I feel very creative and I have figured out all sorts of ways to get to the goal. So practicing gratitude can help with that. Better sleep. Oh my goodness, not just this time of year, but in general, sleep is something that I think a lot of people are lacking. Whether you're up doom scrolling or you're binge watching, you're just not getting enough hours of sleep. And even the hours that you get are not restful. Again, that could be because of binge watching and doom scrolling late at night. But it could also be because of those stress levels that we talked about. It could be you've got a mind that won't quit. You know what I mean? Like you're ruminating on things, and it's causing you to be awake at night. It's causing you to not sleep as deep. So you're waking up periodically through the night. Gratitude is something that can help you fix that. What is the other thing that? Oh, I just lost it. It was in my brain a second ago. When you don't want to go to sleep at night because you're dreading the next day. What is it? Sleep revenge or something like that? I think that having some gratitude in your life will help you feel better about the stresses that might be put on you tomorrow, the tasks that need to be done tomorrow, that you're okay with just shutting out the light and going to sleep rather than staying up as long as possible because that's your time. It's your free time. And why would you rush to get to the next day when you can, make this one last a little bit longer? I don't know. And finally, gratitude contributes to overall well-being. These changes contribute to a positive cycle where increased happiness, better health, and stronger relationships become more common. Your life will improve with gratitude. Your relationships will improve with gratitude. And like we just talked about, your health will improve with gratitude. Are we still thinking that gratitude is some sort of like willy-nilly, like could be, let's just be positive about everything, like waving of a magic wand? Or are we starting to see that gratitude actually is a tool that we can use to better our lives, a tool to transform our lives, a weapon to transform our lives? Yes, I said weapon because there are things that are coming at you constantly, trying to steal your peace, trying to steal your joy, trying to steal every good thing in your life. And if you are a believer, you understand that there is spiritual warfare. You understand that the enemy roams around like a lion seeking to steal, kill, and destroy. That lion is looking for somebody whom he may devour. Gratitude is a weapon against that. You know why? Because gratitude changes this. Gratitude gets you in the right mindset to tackle those attacks on your life. Gratitude is a God-given weapon for us to get into the game, to get out there and further the kingdom. Gratitude is something that will absolutely transform every part of your life. I know this because I've practiced this. But in the Bible, I want to tell you that it tells you to rejoice and be thankful. The Bible tells us to give thanks, for God is good. The Bible tells us to make requests and present the things that we're asking of God with thanksgiving. Constantly reminding ourselves that we have so many blessings in our lives. The Bible also tells us to count it joy when we face trials and when our faith is tested, because it produces perseverance, it produces endurance. Gratitude is something that we should be using on a daily basis. It will push away negativity in your mind. It will push away cynicism in your mind. I actually just saw Huberman. Is it Gary Huberman in the Huberman podcast? He was talking about how cynicism and negativity are actually damaging to your brain. Like they literally are not good in a physical sense for your brain. It's like you talk about your brain being a muscle. It's like something, it's like a tearing or a stretching or a pulling of a muscle. It's not good. If you can replace that with gratitude, if you can practice gratitude, it's going to be such a better thing for your brain, which is going to make it better for your entire life. Like gratitude it's a wonderful thing. And it's really actually not that hard to implement into your life. Gratitude can become something that is second nature, something that is woven into your thoughts, woven into your everyday life. And one of the things that I do, aside from constantly remind myself that like I am promised nothing, like I am not owed anything, I am promised something. I shouldn't say that. God gives us promises and God has promised a lot to us actually. But reminding myself that I am not owed anything. I have not done enough in this life to get something. You know what I mean? Like life is just life. This world is broken and we are saved by grace. And so for me to sit on my high horse and think, I'm owed something by God, I'm owed something by this world, the people around me, like that's an easy way to practice gratitude for me, is just to remind myself that like I don't deserve anything. It's all gifts. But I think the easiest thing and the most tangible thing is to simply state the things that you're thankful for out loud. Like say thanks throughout the day. I find myself literally like, my husband probably thinks I'm crazy. But like when I sit down with a cup of coffee and I take that first sip, I'm like, I literally say out loud, I am so thankful for this cup of coffee. Oh, this coffee tastes so good. I'm so thankful. Thank you for this coffee. Thank you for an opportunity to do this job. Thank you that I have a car to drive. Thank you that the sun is shining today. Thank you that I see wonderful things in the clouds that remind me of God's goodness, or that just put a smile on my face. Like the other day, I shared this on Instagram in my stories. I saw a cloud formation that looked like a dove. And it just took me right back to, the dove coming back to the ark after 40 days and 40 nights of rain and flooding and just that promise that we have from God, the hope that we have in God. It was a beautiful reminder of life with God, So just saying out loud, thank you for that, God. Thank you that I see this. Thank you that my mind is creative enough to, visualize things in the clouds. That's a beautiful, fun way to go about life. So most tangibly and easily, and the thing that I think you can start implementing right now is to simply just look around you and say out loud what you are thankful for. And not even saying it just to yourself, but how about saying it to the people around you or to God? Start there. Say thanks to God, say it to yourself, and say it to others as well. I think that's one thing that we forget to do because it's just assumed. Thanking your husband for taking out the trash, thanking your kid for cleaning up their room, thanking your coworker for, helping you out on a project. Thanking somebody for letting you in on the road while you're driving, like little things, like a little wave on the road or an actual verbal thank you, or hey, I just, grabbed a little gift card for this coworker, just to say thanks for all that they did on this project because they made it a lot easier on you. Like $5 to Starbucks. Maybe it won't pay for their entire order, but it will contribute to their order, Like there are ways for you to say thank you that is living it out, whether you're verbally saying it, it's a gesture, it's an act of service. I think letting thanks out reaffirms thanks in our mind. You know what I mean? It's a way to solidify and set in stone our gratitude. So I want to encourage you as you go about your day and you notice something that you're thankful for, or you notice something that is nice, that is pleasant, that's just enjoyable, say thank you for that. Thank you that I have this incredible TV that has a million different ways to entertain myself. There's times when I'll just say it. I thank my dog for being in my life. Thank you for just being a source of joy, and thanking God for my dog as well, because there's love and joy and peace and comfort that I receive from God through my dog, like through an animal. And I'm thankful for that, Saying thank you to your spouse, I think, is something that we forget a lot, especially if you have children. Now, I don't have children, so I don't know for sure, but I hear this a lot from other people is you just get so focused on the kids that you forget about your spouse. And so I think it's really important for us to thank our spouse, even for the little things, like I said, taking the trash out or making the bed or something like that. Like, don't let that go unnoticed. Don't leave that as like, oh, well, they should make the bed because I make the bed every other day of the year for the last 15 years. No. Like, recognize things and say thank you for those things. I think that's really, really, really beneficial. So if you want an action item to implement immediately, start saying thank you out loud, whether there's somebody around you or not, whether the person that you need to thank is around you or not. Start saying it and reaffirming it in your mind. There are other tangible ways that I've seen around and that I've seen online that I think are beneficial. Like listing things that you're thankful for while you're brushing your teeth. You could just do like a laundry list in your mind. You hopefully brush your teeth every day, so it would be easy to habit stack there. You have a habit of brushing your teeth, and while you do that, you're going to implement a habit of saying what you're thankful for. Maybe you savor small moments. I talked about my cup of coffee. It's something that I look forward to every morning. By the time that I get to it, it's like, it's such an indulgence. And I make a point to say every time, I'm so thankful for this cup of coffee because I really do enjoy it every single day. Maybe calling a friend or doing a gratitude dump with them. That could be just like both of you go back and forth of things that you're thankful for and kind of reaffirm each other in that. I think that's a beautiful thing because oftentimes what do? We pick up the phone and the first thing we do is complain. You won't believe what happened today. Blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. And I can't believe this. And no, mom, this, that, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't leave anybody in a more happy, fulfilled, peaceful space. You know what I mean? How about maybe capturing photos or voice memos in your phone of things that you're thankful for. That would be fun to go back through maybe once a week or at the end of the month just to see things that you were thankful for. I know people keep journals. They do gratitude jars, which is kind of fun, I think. Writing down things you're thankful for, putting it in the jar. You can literally see your gratitude stack up in the jar, which could be fun. Could be fun for the entire family to do that, if you want to implement this practice with your kiddos. I also think serving somebody else somehow, some way. It doesn't have to be like a big service project that you volunteer for. That would be great. Don't get me wrong. But maybe it's offering that front parking spot to somebody, or allowing somebody to go in front of you in line at the grocery store, or I don't know, maybe paying for somebody's groceries. It could be anything, just a way for you to put the focus on somebody else. I think reaffirms gratitude within us. It makes us feel good. And being in a position where you can help somebody or do something nice for somebody, I think fosters this feeling and this thought of gratitude. Again, I just want to remind you that gratitude is not candy coating on something. It's not lipstick on a pig. It's not like, oh, well, everything is awful, but I can't think about how awful it is because I'm supposed to be thankful. It's not being thankful in spite of things. It's being thankful because of those things, understanding that you've got to be thankful in hard times and in hard moments. And because it's like a life raft, it's like I said, a tool and a weapon to help you combat those things and kind of give you a little control back. Oftentimes when bad things are happening in our lives, we don't have control over it, Things are just happening and coming at us, but tools and weapons like gratitude can help us fight back and gain a little more of that control back. So this week I want to encourage you to really transform the way that you see life, the way that you see your day-to-day, the way that you see the things and the people around you, and start practicing gratitude. Start saying things out loud. Start being thankful openly and out loud. I feel like that would be something so wonderful for all of us to do for each other. I think the world would be a better place if we were quick to just offer up thanks for anything in life. I want to encourage you to do that this week. If I could give you homework, that would be it. Say thank you often and say it out loud, and watch how it absolutely changes your life. I think it's going to be beneficial as we move into a busy, stressful, chaotic time of year. I think it's also going to be beneficial as we start to maybe build a little momentum for the new year. I think this transforming of our mind is going to better equip us for what lies ahead, for those big, beautiful things that you want to do in 2026. If you want to give yourself the best chance of keeping those resolutions, it starts now, and it starts with gratitude. Make it a good week for yourself. I'll see you next week.